Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru.
Vaheguru Ji Meherwan, Sahib Meherwan, Sahib Mera Meherwan, Ji Sagal ko de daan. Tu kahe dole praniya, tud rakhega sirjanhar, jin paidais tu kiya, soi de aadhar. Jin upai medni, soi karda sar, ਘਟ ਘਟ ਮਾਲਿਕ ਦਿਲਾਂ ਦਾ ਸੱਚਾ ਪਰਵਦਗਾਰ। ਕੁਦਰਤ ਕੀਮ ਨਾ ਜਾਣੀਐ, ਵੱਡਾ ਵੇ ਪਰਵਾਹੋ, ਕਰ ਬੰਦੇ ਤੂੰ ਬੰਦਗੀ, ਜਿਚਰ ਘਟ ਮੈਂ ਸਾਹੋ। ਤੂੰ ਸਮਰਥ ਅਕਥ ਅਗੋਚਰ, जियो पिंड तेरी रास, रहम तेरी सुख पाया, सदा नानक की अरदास। रहम तेरी सुख पाया, सदा नानक की अरदास। गुरु पातशाह जी की फतवा जी। वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, ਆਪਾਂ ਰਹਿਰਾਸ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੀ ਕਥਾ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੈਗੇ। ਇਹ ਤੀਸਰਾ ਹਫਤਾ, 13ਵਾਂ ਹਫਤਾ ਹੈਗਾ, with the 13th week of Rehraas Sahib. And in this shabad we've got up to Asa Mahalla Chautha, which comes after the Sopurik Paudi. The Sopurik shabad Paudi is quite long, and after that Maharaj starts off by two Karta Sachiaar Manda Sai. But that's a shabad which has got four parts of it as well, and the third part is where we got to last time. And Maharaj in the first pankti had said, Jisno tu jana he hai, soi jan jana, har gun sadhi aakh vakhana. And as this sankhep, which, because we could discuss that last time, Maharaj says, those that you make to be known, Jisno tu jana he hai, not that we ourselves know him, him who he blesses to know him. So if God wants us to know about him, then God blesses us, right? And jisno tu ja nahe hai, those people that you bless and you teach about yourselves, then those people get to know about you. Jisno tu ja nahe hai, soi jan jane, only those servants of you get to know about you. And then what happens to them? What is the situation like? Maharaj says, har guna sadhi aakh vakhane. Then those people, what do? They spend their time talking about har gun. They talk your praises. What are the qualities of Vaheguru? How great is Vaheguru? How forgiving is Vaheguru? How comforting is Vaheguru? How blissful is Vaheguru? All these are guns of Vaheguru. Sab gun tere, main nahi koi. You are of all the qualities, I have no qualities. But then Maharaj said, vin gun kite, Pagat na hoy. Without taking on those qualities of Vaheguru, we can't do Pagati. Ite Pagat is not a person, it's Pagati. Sehari hegi hai. So the point is of us becoming a good Sikh is, although we understand we can't become like Vaheguru, we must still try to become like Vaheguru. That's not to say they become all powerful. As Maharaj says, Namo Sarv Karta, we think we're the Karta. Namo Sarv Harta, we go around killing people, thinking I'm doing. No. The qualities of him are the ones of compassion, of love, of forgiveness, and those are the qualities we have to take on board. Sat, Santokh, Daya, Taram, and Khima. Khima is very hard to come by in our Panth as well sometimes. We are very unforgiving. Maharaj said this is one of the 5 main qualities we must have. Sat, Santokh, truth, contentment, Daya, compassion, Taram, righteousness, and Khima, forgiveness. So Maharaj says, if you take on these qualities, and then har gun sadhi aakh vakhane, not only will they take on those qualities, aakh, but they will talk about them and vakhane bhi karenge. They will say his name, and they like Jagraj Sahib. Jagraj Sahib is like aakhna. because you're saying it to Vaheguru. It's a Sanmukh part. When you're doing Jap Sahib, you're trying to become Sanmukh to Vaheguru. Guru Gobind Singh Ji read this part when they were facing Vaheguru. So to face, they read that part out. So when we're saying Namo Sarva Karta, we're trying to imagine we're looking at Vaheguru and we're saying you are the destroyer of everybody. But here, Akhna means to say, Akha Jiva Visre Marjao. So to say Vaheguru's name. They will always say Vaheguru's name. They will talk about how great he is. But then Vakhana means to explain to someone. So those people that know you, they will also talk about you and explain to other people about you. They hate to see other people in ignorance. When they say people wandering around, lost about what their point of their life is, they feel obliged to say, point out to them a little bit about Vaheguru. Otherwise, they'll be doing people a disservice. Maharaj says that they Jan Nanak Tood Mange Tis Gur Sikhi Jo Aap Jape Avra Naam Japave. That Guru Ramdas Ji Maharaj is saying that they want the dust of this person's feet who japs Naam themselves and encourages other people to jap Naam. Now, it is hard in today's Punjabi society. People are not even interested in learning about Vaheguru. If you start talking about Vaheguru, they start thinking, oh God, here we go again. Yeah. So some people are not interested in listening. Theek, yeah? Sometimes you can't take the person, and if they're not interested, there's no point in telling them. Maharaj says that some places where there is no price for this naam, it will go cheap. Yeah? If no one's interested, it will go cheaply. There's no fada selling it there. So you need two things. You need the person selling it, and you need someone buying it as well. This is the perfect situation. 3 years we've been going, and all the people that want to buy the naam from Guru, all those that are interested in finding about Guru's Bani, they turn up here to buy it, and there's someone here to sell it as well. You know? So this is what you need. You need that two things. And you need the thing itself, Maharaj, the Gurbani. So this is the way that there's always these three things that you need. And if we haven't got the third part, like either we don't know, let's say we don't know about Bani, then Faidani Dasanda. On the other side, if the person is not interested, for Tevini Faida. Because if you keep talking about something that we think is this way, that person might be interested, but we don't know what we're selling to them. Sell them the wrong thing. So it's important to learn Guru Mukh as well. I remember when we used to teach the Vaheguru course in Southall, we started here at the Norwood Hall, and there was a lady, and we went around the class, we asked everybody, how much do you know about Sikhi? Can you please explain that? A little bit, introduce yourself. So there was this auntie, and she explained, and other people explained, and some people said, I'm quite happy, I think I'm alright, I know my Sikhi. I said, okay. Then we did the first session, just the introduction to the course, literally introducing the course, and by the end of it, some of the people that I said they're quite happy and they know quite a lot about Sikhi, they said, I think I don't know anything about Sikhi. I think most of us nowadays in our Panth have this overconfidence about how much we do know. But there's Beyant Sagar of information that we must all spend time learning. So there need to be libraries, there need to be courses, there need to be schools, so that we all get to understand how much we still have to go for, how much we still have to learn. And in a way, the best thing is to know how much we still don't know, because that gives us nimirta as well. And if we don't know, then that becomes, we get ahankar, but it's wrong placed ahankar. We don't know anything, but we're hankari anyway of it. So Maharaj is saying that for us, we must learn Aakh Vakhani, and we must practice it as well. We must say Vaheguru's name as well. Then Maharaj says, Jin har sevya tin sukh paya, sahaje hi har naam samaya. They said that person who serves Vaheguru, Jin har sevya tin sukh paya, they get peace. Now Satsangat ji, what is that peace that we're looking for? Some people, they're looking for dunyavi peace. They're looking for worldly peace. Yeah? And that kind of peace will not come. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj has told us that already in Japji Sahib. They say, Pukhya pukhna utri, je banna puriya par. And we won't get peace until we have santokh. Because santokh is kind of like raja, where somebody who's had food and they fill their stomach up, then they go, Main raj gaya, right? I'm full now. Then they're at peace. They don't need to eat anymore. While they're still eating, they're not at peace until they're finished. So Maharaj says, Bina santokh nahi ko rajya. Without contentment, no one has actually become raja hoya, no one has become full. So contentment is very much part of peace. Santokh is needed. So Maharaj is telling us, Jin har sevya tin sukh paya. Those that serve you, Maharaj, they get the peace, they get the contentment, but they get the contentment and the peace of Naam, Amrit Naam, Thakur ka. This gives us Santokh. This is what's available in Sikhi, Sat, Santokh. These things. So Maharaj is telling us, if you serve him now, how can we serve him? A lot of people come up and they even mess us and go, how can we do some seva, Paji? Now, it's a bit of a strange thing to say to someone, but sometimes I feel like saying, the seva you can do right now is to learn your Nitnem, learn Gurmukhi, do your part, become a Chardikala Guru Sikh. That is actually a real seva right now, because not many people that can read part and read the Bani and keep strong rehat and learn more and more part. People are stuck at the minimum 3 Bani a day. They haven't progressed to getting 10 Bani a day. And the thing is that if you stick at the basic, that basic is going to be a heavy burden on your shoulder. As soon as you finish Srayi, you're going to like, phew, got through that day. But if you start to do 10 Bani a day, by the time you get to Srayi Sahib, the third part, you'll be like, I've got loads more to go. And you won't even have got tired yet. So the training that you do means that you can train. So if you train really hard, that little bit that you thought was hard earlier is going to be nothing. I remember sometimes, like, when you do exercise and I go to these routines on YouTube and stuff like fitness. In the beginning, when you start doing one of these programs, like 20 minutes, half an hour, by the time the warm-up is finished, you're ready to stop. You're like, warm-up is I'm finished. But after some time of doing that, the warm-up becomes a warm-up. So the Nitnem, Maaf Karna Sahib, Nitnem is really the warm-up. The Panjabaniya really is a warm-up. There's still much more to go. We should be trying to do a lot more. We should be finishing Nitnem and then getting on with the rest of our Bani we're meant to do today. Yeah. So unless we start pushing ourselves, we will never progress. If you're stuck at Japji Sahib, you need to push yourself, put in some more part in there, put Jap Sahib in there for sure. Yeah? And then get past that and put even more in. Now Mother says here, this is seva. To do Bani, to read part, to serve him, to understand Gurmukhi, to understand Gurbani. This is part of seva because we're doing what our Guru told us to do. Many times on this stage I've mentioned the same thing. Seva is not just doing what we think is seva. Seva is doing what Guru tells us to do. Nokkar, his job is to do what the Thakur says. You got the Thakur and you got the Nokkar, the boss and the servant. You might happen to be an admin assistant. You might happen to be a manager. But if your senior boss tells you, go to Starbucks and buy me 4 lattes, that is now your job. When you walk out that door and you go down and you go and buy those drinks, you come back up, that's become your job now. Because your boss is not going to blame you for going out. He's going to think he's doing his job. So doing what Guru tells us to do, he's our master, that becomes seva. And Guru tells us to read Bani. Guru tells us to wake up in the morning, do our part, do our Nitnem, learn Gurmukhi, understand Gurbani and teach other people. That is part of seva. Jin har sevya, tin sukh paya. If we start to become his servant, we start to jap naam, listen to Katha, learn Bani, and then fight Maya, fight the Panchor. That is part of seva. That is part of serving the Guru. There's no point, Sasriji Maaf Karna, there is a point of learning part, but if you could sit here and learn part, walk out and fall straight back into Maya, for our mind hasn't yet started to serve him. And the little pankti that helps, whenever you have a problem like this, whenever you have a problem of Kaam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Ahankar, there's a little pankti you can read from Sukhmani Sahib. Man beche Satgur ke paas, tis sevak ke karj ras. Sell your mind to the Guru. Then what will happen? You become a servant. Tis sevak ke karj ras. Then that servant who sold his mind becomes a servant, their works come to fruition. If we haven't started to serve him as a servant, we haven't sold our mind to him, then we haven't yet become a real sevak. We're still learning how to become a sevak. Selling our soul, selling our mind to the Guru, tan, man, tan, sab somp Guru ko. Hukam maniye paiye. Hukam maniyo Guru kera, gavo sachi bani. A kirtan bhi seva hai. People don't think of it as seva, but kirtan gauna, understanding is all seva, is listening to Guru. Then Maharaj goes on, they say, Seje hi har naam samaya. Those people find peace. So Sangaji, until you've spent an hour washing up, you don't know the peace there is in washing up in the Guru Ka. When you're watching people washing up for an hour, you think, "Bichare thak gaye." But you haven't seen the lolly on that guy's face or that BB's face. The face chamak rahe. They come out of that hour of washing up and they feel fresh and happy. Because there is sukh in seva. There is sukh in listening to the Guru. Maharaj says, do that, sahaje hi har naam samaya, and intuitively, very relaxed way, you will become part of Vaheguru's naam. Look at Gursikhi Sasangaji, it's not very akkha path, but really compared to what Buddhists do, compared to what sannyasis do, what Agoru sadhus do, we have got a very easy life. We get married, we have kids, we have a normal job, we live in society, we get to see our family. In many of the dharmas, you have to give up everything. Christianity, I used to live with the monks at university, they have to leave their whole family, never see them again. They don't own a single thing. But Maharaj said, if you follow his path, you can have all the things of the normal world, and yet you can have naam, sahaja hi har naam samaya. It's sahaj marg hai guys. It's very simple and a relaxed way. Live in the world, but find Vaheguru anyway. Sahaja hi har naam samaya. Maharaj said, this is what is on offer to us. Then Maharaj finishes off this shabad. They go, Tu ape karta, tera kiya sab hoye. They say, you are yourself the doer. You do everything. You create, sustain, and destroy. All three things are done by you. Tu ape karta. You yourself do it. Sometimes he delegates to other people, and for us, it looks like he sent somebody else to do it. Like, for example, I'm here talking, you know. Now you might think, oh, Jagraj Singh is talking. You see me. But really, if it affects you, if it affects you and you understand Bani, it's nothing to do with me. It's all about Guru. It's all coming from Guru. It's just a palekha. And Maharaj wants us here to understand this. They want us to understand that really, the only person to thank is Vaheguru. The only person to follow is Vaheguru. The only person to do anything for is Vaheguru. Don't see the person here, see the Bani, and the Bani is coming from Vaheguru. Galtiyan sadiyan hain, Sachiaai Vaheguru di hegi. Maharaj says, Tu ape karta, tera kiya sab hoy. Whatever that happens has come from you also, Vaheguru. It's not come from anywhere else, it's come from you. And then, Tud bin duja avar na koi. How hard is that to understand? How hard? Satsangji, imagine trying to see everybody as one. That would mean nirpao and nirvah. No fear and no hate, because it's all Vaheguru. Sab Gobind hai, Gobind bin nahi koi. That's a very hard stage to think about. To think about the parent, to thank the parents, but think, Vaheguru sent you as well. This is what Maharaj wants us to get to this stage. We see oneness everywhere. And Maharaj says, next, Tu kar kar vekhya hai, jaan hai soe. What is that soe? Soe here means the world. Tu kar kar vekhya hai, jaan hai soe. Kar here means you created the creation. Tu kar, you did it. Kar vekhya, after you created it, now you look at it. You know? Tu kar vekhya. Once you've done it, you look at it as well. And then jaan hai soe. Only you really know it as well, no one else knows it. Kisi ho nu pata nahi ho ki raha. We only know less than whatever percentage, infinitely small percentage of what is actually happening in the world. Think about how big the world is. Think about how big even the earth is and all this simple solar system. Think about all the galaxies and all the universes out there. And then think about how much we know. Maharaj says, Tu kar vekhya jaan hai soe. You know, you look at it, and also you did it. All these things are only you, and Maharaj, you know everything inside it. Jan Nanak Gur Mukh Pargat Hai. Now Maharaj says, how can we get to see you? You made it, you see it, and also you are knowing everything inside it. Only thing is, we don't know you, we can't see you, and we don't know you that made it. Asi plekhe vich paye hain. Sanu kuch nahi pata, tonu sab kuch pata hai. But how can we now make you pargat? How can we make you visible? To see, you couldn't see Vaheguru, Ajbi Katha hoyi si ki Hanso Gurdware. And the shabad was the last bit that we go through, Kita Lodiye Kam. And the last Pankti Maharaj says that Nanak har gun gaye, alakh prabh lakhiya. When you start to sing his praises, har gun sadi aakh vakhane, when we start to do that, Maharaj says, then what will happen to us? Nanak har gun gaye, alak prabh lakhiya. That Vaheguru who is invisible, we will get to see him, they will become pargat. And Maharaj says that, Jan Nanak gur mukhe pargat hoye. If you can see the Gurmukhi up there, jithe Gurmukh likhya hai, utte sihari hegi hai. Sihari da arth eh nikalda hai ki Gurmukhe, through the Guru's way, through the Guru's path. What's come out of the Guru's mouth, to the Guru's teachings. Ithe Gurmukh is not the person, it's the Gurmukhi. So, if we go to the Guru's way, the Gurmukh, then you start to become visible to them. The people that go through your way, those people that follow you, Saad Singh ji pehla bhi ye gal kahi sigi, what is a Gurmukh? Pehla mukh hunda hai, the head. So thode waste, who is your head? The mukh, like the mukh sevadar, the main person. So the person who's got Gurmukh, the main person they listen to is the Guru. The person who's a manmukh, the main mukhi for them is their mind. So the person you listen to over yourself, if you listen to the Guru over your own mind, then you're on the Gurmukh path. If you listen to your mind over the Guru's mat, then you are on the Manmukh mind. It's simple. You wake up in the morning, it's time for part, and you think, oh, I'm so tired today. Let me do it tomorrow. Manmukh. Ain't no joke about it. It might be a cuss, but it's harsh. But the man has now been listened to. The Guru has not been listened to. If you said, you know what, my mind says I can't be bothered, and you accept that. Mind says I can't, but I'm not going to listen to the mind. I'm going to do it anyway. Even if I'm not in the mood, even if I don't want to enjoy it right now, I will do it anyway. Tusi man marzi na karya karo. Many people say, well, what's the point of doing it if I don't enjoy it? If my mind's not there, let's just leave it. I'll do it when I enjoy it. Oh, man marzi hegi hai. Oh, Guru di marzi ni. Because the mukhi is a boss. Who is the boss is the question. Who is your boss? Who is my boss? The Guru or my mind? So Maharaj then says, that's one way. But the mukh is which way you are facing. Are you facing the Guru or are you facing the mind? Same kind of concept. Which way are we looking? So Maharaj said, Nanak Gurmukh Pargat Hoy. The other understanding of this Pankti is that through the Guru's way you can get him realized, but the Gurmukhs, because they go through his way, then they do get to see Vaheguru. And they get to see him as that tu kar kar vekhe jane soy. And why is that? Tu ape karta tera kiya sab hoy. They now recognize who really is the person who's doing anything. When Guru Maharaj is sitting on Tati Tavi, they use the same word, kiya. Guru Nanak Ji Pasha, they use this word, tera kiya meetha lage. Everybody else sees the Mughals burning them. Everybody else sees the world, the Mughals pouring hot sand upon them. They see Chandu Shah standing there. They see the Mughal, the Qazi. They see the Mughal Raj. They think they did killed our Guru. But Guru Nanak Ji Pasha is saying, Tera kiya meetha lage. Tu ape karta tera kiya sab hoy. Those people that understand him, they go to the Guru's way, they will see this as Pargat, they will realize this, but ehi satya, ki he's the only doer of everything. And they will not be scared. Think about how many things we're scared about. 1984's come now. We're talking about what happened in 1984. Sasangat Ji, who did that to us? Whether you say the Indian government did it to us, whether you say that we were part to blame, we weren't armed in December, in November we should have been armed much more than we were. We have our to blame, the government's to blame, but Sasangat ultimately, Vaheguru caused this to happen. We must understand that it's Rabda Panasi. There has to be something in there that we don't just spend our time blaming everything, but understanding there is something for us to learn from this. These things happen for a reason. Vaheguru is creating something. What are they doing? We should try to understand what the benefit of 1984 was for us. If you think about this Panth right now, I'll point out one thing, because I went around and did Katha on Guru Nanak Ji Shahidi, and about 84, Satsang Ji, one thing to remember, my Nana Ji was part of this Gurdwara many years ago when they set it up. He told me 31 years ago, you couldn't take Amrit in this country. There wasn't Amrit and Chars available, there was no Panj Pyare. You couldn't find 5 Singhs who memorized their Bani and were living Sikhi. Sigeni, they weren't even around. Now look at this Panth. Look at what's happened to Chardi Kala of 1984. Within a year of 1984, you could have Amrit Sanchars all over the country, and there was hundreds of people taking Amrit. Hornby recently, there was this Amrit Sanchar at Vaisakhi time. 100 people, I think, took Amrit here in Park Avenue. This is the benefit. The Panth woke up. The Panth was asleep. We were sleepwalking our way. We didn't realize what was happening to us in India. And now, Hornby, one Singh has become Shaheed in India, in Jammu, by Jagraj Singh. बहुत दुख होया सुन के. तो सासंग जी एक चीज देख लो, people they are realizing what's going on. They're still not free. They can't even protest peacefully. You get shot dead. We must understand that Sikhs are not free in India. We are still gulam. Utte gulami hai. Somebody who's weak blames everybody else. What if we made a mistake in the last 50 years? Once we realized that India was in charge, once we realized that we were going to be under their thumb, we should have realized that in India, power is about money and about numbers. It's a democracy. We should have grown ourselves. We should have grown and we should have targeted ourselves to grow. Maharaji Kirpa, we made the first video in Tamil about Sikhi recently. People watching it and they were like, wow. And you know what was interesting about the comments? A Tamil street prachar, huh? You can watch, it's got subtitles so you can watch it. Huh? And the Bibi, she did in Madras, she made the video. So Sanghaji, watch that video and the comments underneath are all like, shame on the SGPC. Shame on these big institutions. 50 years they've been in India and they couldn't even make one information video about Sikhi in different languages. Now we just hired a company in Bangalore to translate our leaflets into 11 languages in India. Satsangji, why are they not able to do these things? Because their dhyan is not on that thing. Dhyan vich nahi hegi cheez. Jehdi cheez dhyan vich nahi hegi, wo kade hone bhi nahi. If it's not in your chick, if it's not in your consciousness to focus upon it, it will never happen. So therefore, the only way in India to get the Sikhs to be powerful is through money and is through votes. You got to have a large voting bank. We don't even vote together anyway. Itthe bhi dekh lo, we had the Sikh manifesto, bit of a detour, so I'll take 5 minutes out for this. The Sikh manifesto was set up, right? This is what we want. They identified 50 seats where we as Sikhs in this country have loads of votes and we can vote left and right together. We can make a difference. That's what they designed. Where we can make a difference. 50 seats in this country. But no one ever did a bit of research to work out if in those 50 seats in the UK, if the Sikhs in that area actually vote together or not. Of course they don't. There is no voting, block voting in this month. We don't even listen to each other at a small level, while we listen to each other at a national level. We got so much infighting going on in our area. I was just walking past King Street the other day, and I realized if you threw a stone or one of those bouncy balls, you'd hit 4 Gurdwara in one go. From Guru Amar Das Hall to Guru Nanak Darbar to the second Gurdwara part of Guru Nanak Darbar, and then have a little right behind it. There's no unity going on in our Panth. So having a manifesto is all very well, but you're putting a gun at the MP's head. You're saying, we have enough Sikhs in this area to change the vote and to make you lose. But you now know the gun is firing blanks. It's got no real bullets. Because we don't vote together. So the first thing to do is listen to Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj. Before we set a manifesto and present to the government, let's listen to Guru Gobind Singh Ji. What do they say? कोई किसी को राज ना दे हैं, जो ले हैं सो निज बल से ले हैं. No one gives Raj to anybody else. No one gives you power. If you want power, you must make your own strength and take it. Where is the strength in a democracy? In block voting, in numbers. So really, as a Panth in this country, we should be uniting the vote. Our main mission should not be go to Hyde Park and Trafalgar Square and go down there. That's not going to build block voting. In each area, every Sikh family should be voting the same way. When you can tell the MP, I've got 10,000 votes, and if you don't go with us, we will vote the other way, then they'll listen to you. कोई किसी को राज ना दे है, जो ले है सो निज बल से ले है. And Sasang ji, Raj bina nahi dharam chale hai. Without Raj, you can't do dharam really. And dharam bina sab dale male hai. Maharaj says, without Raj, you can't have dharam, righteousness, justice. And without justice, there's nothing going on. without justice and dharma. So we do need these things. We do need to have a focus on these things. So Satsang ji, Maharaj says that for us, the power has to come from within ourselves. The next pankti, if we've got 25 minutes, we'll get to the next shabad, hopefully, Maharaj Kripa. Asa mahalla pehla Tith Sarvararai pehle nivasa pani pavak tineh kiya pankaj moh pag nahi chale hum dekha tah doobyale man ek na chetas mood mana har bisrat tere gun galya rahao na ho jati sati nahi padya मूरख मुगदा जन्म पया प्रणवत नानक तिन की सरना जिन तो नाही विसरया. Maharaj says in Rag Asa Mahalla Pehla, Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. There's an uthanka of this Shabad Satsang ji. Edi uthanka ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਸੰਗਤ ਗੁਰੂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕੋਲ ਆਈ ਤੇ ਸਵਾਲ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ. ਸੰਗਤ ਪੁੱਛੀ, ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਦੱਸੋ ਕਿ ਸੰਸਾਰ ਸਮੁੰਦਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਹੜਾ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਪਾਰ ਕਰਦਾ ਆ ਤੇ ਕਿਹੜਾ ਡੁੱਬਦਾ ਆ. The Sangat came and asked Maharaj, tell us one thing, in this worldly ocean, who swims across and who drowns? Tell us this thing. Maharaj says, Tith Sarvararai pehle nivasa pani pavak tinhe kiya. Maharaj says, Tith means that. Tith Sarvararai. Sarvararai is just like Sarvar, Sarovar. So in that Sarovar, in that worldly ocean, in that pool of water, Maharaj says people have made their house. Pehle nivasa. They've made their nivas. Nivas means a house. Khalsa mein ho karo nivas. The word nivas means house. Maharaj says people have made their home, their house in that Sarovar, in the worldly ocean. What does that mean? Because a home is where you live. If you live in this world, then you're sansari. Then you've made your house in the sansar samundar. If you're not really part of this world, Maharaj says, Asa, Mansa, Sagal Tyage, Jagte Rahe, Nirasa. They got no desire upon the world. They totally leave everything in this world. And from this world, they have no hope. Nirasa. Jagte Rahe, Nirasa. That person does not live in this world. They might visit this world, but their house is not in this world. Where is the house? Where do we live? Where do we go home and rest? Is it in Maya? Do we rest in Maya? Do we live in this world of Sarovar? Or is our house at the Guru's Charan? Is that where we live? So in the morning, we leave our house, the Guru's Charan, we go into the Maya world, and we come back home, and Maharaj Kirpa si bach ke aage wapas apne ghar. Yeah? Maharaj says, Ghar. Bhai Gurdas ji is saying that the Guru Sikhs were making in Kartarpur, they were saying, Ghar andar Dharamsal. Hove Kita Sadan Soha. In their house, they made Dharamsal. They made a place that lived at the Guru's Charan. So our house has to be a kind of place, sanctuary from Maya, but not in the Maya. Live in the world, but not be of this world. This is a world that we visit daily. We go into this world daily, we come back home. Yeah? Asi the rehna nahi. And even Guru Maharaj says, goes further, they say, Je rehna nahi aat jag, ta kayat garab handi hai. They say, if you're not going to stay in this world anyway, why are you living in ahankar? Jiske ji pran hai, ki wo sahib mano visari hai. If you've got breath in your life, in your body, then why do you forget him, the master? Why do you forget the master while you're still breathing? So Maharaj says here that you have this house, people have made this house in the pool. Maharaj says, Pani pavak tinhe kiya. Pani is the water. This samundar, the water in this samundar is not the kind of water you get out of the tap. It's not cooling. It's actually pavak. Pavak means fire. It's actually fire. Pani pavak tinhe kiya. And who's made it? Vaheguru's made it. He made this world of fire. He made this samundar of fire. Maharaj says this bit of Bani, Sorat Rag, Guru Nanak Ji Pasha, they say that this world and in the mother's womb is very similar. We talked about this Anand Sahib, when we were going through this world is like that the water. Maharaj says, Sorat Rag, they go, Maat garab meh apan simran de, teh tum rakhan hare. They say, in the mother's womb, you gave me your simran. You let me remember you. Because Sasanji, in that place, if we forget him, we would also drown there. Just like in the world, we have to remember him to swim across. In the mother's womb, we were remembering him. And Akal Purakh had given us that kirpa that in the mother's womb, we did the Simran and we stayed alive. Maat garbh mein apan Simran de. Teh tum rakhan hare. There you protected me. But now I come out of the mother's womb, I'm in the world. And what do they call this world? They go Pavak Sagar. Atha lehar mein taro taran hare. They go, this world is a place of fires of Pavak Sagar. Pavak is fire. Pani Pavak. Pavak Sagar Atha lehar mein. This sagar, this worldly ocean, it seems endless. So many waves keep on coming. Just as soon as we think, I'm sorted, everything goes crazy. You know, one wave can knock over a boat. Sasangaji, maaf karna, when you got a boat, it might be going all fine, one big wave and it's all over. So the waves of Kaljug come every day. Don't think that you got your nickname sorted one day, I can skip it for a day. You can't skip it. It's nothing is guaranteed. Agle din se dul sakde hai kyo. So keep it every day. Keep on the Guru's lad every day. Don't let go. Eh vast taji nahi jai. Nit rakh urtaro. This thing is not something to be thrown away. This thing is something to be kept close. Don't let go. Hold on with your nails. You know, like you have to drag you away from Sikhi. People keep on to Sikhi. We're talking today about 84. Sasangaji, maaf karna. Gur Sikh bani nahi chhad de. Gur Sikh sab kuch chhad sakde hai, ki sareer chhad sakde hai, ki bani nahi chhad sakde. The thing to remember is ki Sikha ne kaam karke dikhaya. It's not like we think, oh yeah, Guru Maharaj talks about it. Sikhs have done this. They've done bani when they were being chopped in half. They've read bani when they were being boiled alive. Sikhs have read bani when they were being chopped into pieces. Sikhs have read bani. After 84, there was a Singh who was lying. His eyes had been pulled out. He'd had hot rods put up his legs, up to his knees. So he couldn't walk, he was crippled. He's lying on the floor in the jail. And he says, what's the time? And they go, Tenu kiya. You can't see anything. You got no eyes. We pulled your eyes out of your head. He goes, is it Rehraas Sahib time? I said, 6 o'clock. He starts off. Hare jug jug pagatu paya. That's it. And off he goes. Kyun? Bani nahi chhadni. Maharaj says, Bani, main Gurbani aadhar hai, Gurbani lag raha. Maharaj says, my support is Gurbani, let me be sticking to Bani. So Sasangaji, Maharaj says, people have made their home in the Maya, but then Maharaj says, if you stick to Bani, you won't even go down that. Maharaj says, Pankaj moho, pag nahi chale, ham dekha, teh dubele. They say this fire, this sansar samundra is hot as fire. You can get lost in that fire, you can get burnt in that fire. Maharaj says, Pankaj moho. In this, their feet are like trapped to moho. They've got this moho. Moho means attachment. How can we explain this? People don't want to jump Bani sometimes. They go, oh, my wife might wake up. If I wake up earlier, I'll wake my wife up. More. Sometimes we've got more about our jobs, about our status in life. We're attached. Basically, whatever, if you're going towards the Guru, if there's something pulling you back, that's your moh. Anything that's attached to this world, whether it's money, it's family, friends, all these things, it's all moh. Pankaj moh. This attachment, this desire that keeps us away from Waheguru. Pag nahi chale, their feet don't come. In this swamp of attachment, especially emotional attachment, Sasangaji, people think about more about their family. One more I want to point out to you is that of your friends and is that of other people's opinion. Other people's opinion upon ourselves. We like our friends. If we start to go to a Sikhi, our friends might not hang out with us. Before you go together, it's cool. Now they go, you don't really suit this place anymore, man. And you're like, oh, I got to choose. Even at work, people go to work and they think, you know what, if I've got a dadi at work, people might look at me strangely. People might not talk to me nicely. This is also moh, other people's opinions, because that's all emotions driven. It's not, it's just emotions. Pankaj moh, pag nahi chale. Their feet can't move. They're stuck in this quicksand of moh. their feet don't move, they can't get themselves out of this fire. And Maharaj says then, Hum dekhate hain dubiyale. The same shall we were talking about earlier, Pavak Sagar, Atha Lehr mein Taro Taran Hare. Maharaj says, oh save me, you're the one who can save me, swim me across. And what is the Rahadi Pankti on that Shabad? Maharaj says, Madho tu Thakur sir mora, Iha uha tuharo tora. They say, oh my Lord, my Master, you are a master on top of my head. You are the one that I worship. Tu Thakur sir mora, Gurmukh. You are the one on top of my head. You are the one that I carry at the highest. You are my Mukhi. Tu Thakur sir mora, Iha uha tuharo tora. I keep support from you. I depend on you here and I depend on you over there. So in this way, in this fiery ocean, Maharaj says that we will drown if our feet remain attached to moh. How can we make this practical? If you want to make it really practical, Sasanji, if you want to take a real lesson from this, go home and get a piece of paper out and write down the reasons stopping you from following Sikhi. If you're already following Sikhi, well done. Think about the things that can stop you doing even more. Write it down and examine them. Have a deep, sharp examination of yourself. A doctor might examine you. Why don't we try and become a little bit of our own doctor and examine what is stopping us from going further into Sikhi. And in that, I'm sure, moh will be a big part. And that moh, Maharaj says, that is like the quicksand that is drowning us, stopping our feet from walking towards the Guru. Bhai Gurdas is saying, Charan Saran Gur ek paina jaye chan. Sadguru kot paina aage hoye leta hai. If you take one step towards him, he will take so many towards you. But Sasangaji, what is stopping us from taking those steps? Moh. Pag nahi chale. Pag means feet. I know the pag in Punjabi means your head, but pag is an old word for pair as well. Pag nahi chale. The feet don't move towards him, they get stuck there. Hum dekhate hain dubiyale. The ocean is not going anywhere, it's actually fire and we'll drown in that fire. Kal tati, thanda harna. This Kaljug, the fire of Kaljug, it is hot, it is like a fire and we will burn inside it. Maharaj says, then the Rahadi Pankti, Man ek na chetas mood mana, har bisrat tere gun galya rahao. They say, oh my mind, man ek na chetas mood mana. Oh my mind, you are mood, you're a fool. You're a fool, mugad mana. You're a complete idiot. You don't remember the one. Remember previously we talked in the previous Shabad that they understand that you are one, you're the doer. This man says, man ek na chetas mood. You might think about your parents, you might think about your boss at work, you might think about your family, but you do not think about the one who caused all of this. The Shabad we were talking about earlier, Sort Mahalla Panjwa, Maat Garab mein Apan Simran de Taitum Rakan Hare. You know, Maharaj says next after Rahadi Pankti, Iha Uha Toharo Tora, they say, Kite ko mere sammane, Karan har trin jane. They say, you look at this world, that is the creation, the one that he made, Kite. Kite ko mere sammane. You make this world like a mountain. Karan har trin jane. We make the one who made it like a blade of grass. We give so much dhyan upon what he created, but the one that created it, Karan har, the doer, trin jane, we see him as a little, we give him as much dhyan as you would give to a leaf or a little bit of grass, what's it called, a blade of grass. So I think people look at a mountain and go, wow, look at that mountain. No one looks down at the grass, at one little blade and says, wow, look at that blade of grass. Koi nahi karta. We might look at a whole bunch of grass, but we don't pay attention to that one. Maharaj is saying, you are getting lost in all the things that he made, and we're not realizing the one that made all of it, jitthon si aaye hain. So Maharaj says this, Man ek na chetas mudmana, har bisrat tere gun galya. The word galya, we know we use it for fruit, galya, is gone off. So what does that mean, Satsangaji? We have guns. We come to this world with gun. Sometimes some kids are born with a lot of gun. They're shant. The parents say, "It's a boss sona bacha hai. Sonda ya, doodh pee lenda ya, aram naal. Te pyare bacche ne." And some kids come full of beans, jumping around like crazy. Yeah? There are guns of every child has got gun. Some guns we come with, other ones that we learn upon earth. The parents help to teach us. And then we get some more guns. But these guns that we have learned, and the ones that have brought with us, these good virtues, Mara says all of these, gal janegi. Gal will go off. They won't be the use that they came for, they'll go off. Why? Because all of these things, they're a step on the path towards Waheguru. Maharaj just said that already when I talked about that earlier, Japji Sahib, that these guns are for Bhakti. Sab gun tere. You giving me these qualities. Main nahi koi. They're not from myself. When gun kite, Bhagat na hoy. The point of these guns, we need to have them, but then the next stage is to do the Bhakti. And that will actually make them fruitful. And the phala aayega utthe. These guns, they're like seeds. When we plant them, they will give us the fruit of now. So we do have to have guns. We have to go one step further. What's Maharaj saying here? It's not enough to be a good person. That's what this Pankti is saying. If you want to know what this Pankti really means, it's not enough to be a good person. Maharaj is saying very clearly, Har bisrat tere gun galya. By forgetting Waheguru, bisrat means forgetting. Hari bisrat tere gun galya. Those good qualities that you do have, they will go off like fruit that is gone off. Gal janenge. Unless you put it into Bhakti. So the opposite end of that is, turn it around, and then je tusi Rab nu simroge, then thode gun da phal hovega. They will be fruitful. Safal hoega. Jeevan safal hovega. Your good life will become worthwhile if we start to meditate our life, that we've tried to be good people, it will come of use. Then Maharaj says next, that this last two panktiyan, what does Guru Sahib finish off with? They finish off with by saying, Naha jati sati nahi padya, Murakh mugda janam paya, Pranavat nanak tinki sarna, Jin tu nahi visarya. Message, na, I'm not. Na, ho. Ho means I am not. What am I not? Jati. Jati is somebody who has conquered their physical desires and senses. In the old days, a jati was actually used technically for somebody who was not going to get married. Somebody who's jati is somebody who's not going to get married. They're not going to go down that route, and they're going to control one of their senses, i.e. one of their desires totally. Not going to have any of it. But in Sikhi, we don't believe that this is jati. For us, real jati is eka nari. If you have one wife, then you are jati. Eka nari, jati hoy. You become a jati person. So, really, jati means for us not control, that to have nothing, but to stay within one. I no adultery. Eka nari, jati hoy. So Maharaj says, Naho jati. Then what is sati? Sati now obviously is used sometimes for women that were used to throw themselves in the fire. But the word is a bit earlier. It comes from these people that became pagats, and they only lived in a sattvic way. Truth, sati. That they would do everything. There's many meanings of this word. One is the lady that was thrown onto the wife that followed her husband to where he'd gone by going on his funeral pyre. But the word itself comes from somebody who is basically very loyal and very devoted. And nowadays you see people that are satis, and they are the ones that they're like nuns. A nun is basically a bit of a sati, because what the nun says is, I've married Waheguru, and they live in that whole life, which is totally devoted to that truth that they're trying to follow. So sati means they've taken this sat that they have and totally follow it. Naho jati sati. Maharaj says, I am not jati, I'm all over the place, no control. I am not sati, I don't even live the truth that I believe in. Nahi padya, I'm not even educated. Asi padhe nahi. You know, we were talking about earlier that we assume too much about how much we know. Maharaj says, Naho jati sati nahi padya. I'm not actually well read. Murakh mugda. I'm an idiot. Murakh mugda, I'm totally lost like a fool. Janam paya. I got this life. I'm an idiot. And what janam have I got? Sasang ite janam kiya ga? Insan janam. In the next shabad after this, Guru Arjan Ji Pasha is going to talk about that janam. Ki pai parapat manuk de horiya. They're talking about the human life here. That we've got a human life, but we're complete idiots. ਨਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਪੜੇ ਹੋਏ ਆ, ਨਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਕੰਟਰੋਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਨਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਸੱਤ ਨੂੰ ਮੰਨਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਫਿਰ ਵੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਜਨਮ ਮਿਲ ਗਿਆ. We've got this human life anyway. We're not really, in that sense, none of us are worthy of this gift that we've been given, the human life. Is dehi ko simre dev. Kabir ji says that the Devi Devte are dreaming of a human life. They're hoping for a human life, and we got it now, and we don't even remember what we did to get it. Inni mehnat kitti hoegi satsang ji. We did so much hard work to get a human life, and now we get it, and we don't even treat it what it's worth. Maharaj says, na hon jati sati nahi padya. This is pure, it's a very beautiful shabad to reduce your humming. Because people are always pumping you up saying, oh, you know so much, you know so much. If you start learning about Sikhi now, the rest of the world is so totally lost, they will say, wow, you know so much. You might have watched 10 minutes of a video somewhere, and people will say, wow, you know so much. Sasi maaf karna, this is the situation as well. People are totally blind to Sikhi. We live in a Sikh family, we don't know a single thing. Ek onkar de arth nahi pata, Satnam de arth nahi pata, Guru de arth nahi pata. What are we doing in this world? Maharaj says, we are like that. Na ho jati sati nahi padya, Murakh mugda janam paya, Pranavat nanak tin ki sarna, Jin tu nahi visarya. Pranavat means like a benti. I do a pranavat. Nanak is doing a benti. You know Guru Nanak Ji Maharaj, who wrote this shabad, they're not doing a benti really, in that sense. They are doing a benti, but they're also doing another kind of benti. They've written this Bani for us. The Bani is written from us. Maharaj has become one with Vaheguru already. But what are they doing a benti for? They're doing a benti for us to read these words and become Nanak. We're trying to be Nanak. Look through Guru Nanak Ji's eyes for a second. Try to be Nanak. Say Pranavata Nanak. Put our hands together. Doe kar jor karo ardas. Put our hands together and do ardas. Ki Pranavata Nanak. Nanak does a benti to Vaheguru. Maharaj, do me this favor. Teni ki sarna. That I get the sharan jin tu nahi visarya. I get to hang out with those people that have not forgotten you. Why does this link to the beginning of this world? Because Maharaj is telling us who doesn't drown and who does drown. The people that drown are the ones that forget him. Those that forget him, they will drown. Har bisar tere gun galya. So the ones that remember him, they are the ones that do swim across. This is what Guru Maharaj is telling us in this Shabad. The ones that swim across are the ones that remember Vaheguru, and the ones that do remember Vaheguru then hang out with those people. Because as you hang out with them, and they walk around saying Vaheguru, 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 or they're reading their part or their Bani, Satsang ji, sanu bhi madi moti sharam aa jandi hai. ਇਹ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਬੈਠਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਆ ਕਹਿ ਲਵੇ ਕਿ ਹੁਣ ਮੇਰਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਵੇਲਾ ਆ ਗਿਆ ਪਾਠ ਕਰਨਾ ਆ ਆਮ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਆਪਣਾ ਸਿਰ ਕੱਜ ਲੈਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਫਿਰ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰੋ ਬਈ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਹਫਤੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਮਹੀਨੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪੇ ਪਾਠ ਕਦੇ ਸੁਣਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਨਾ ਕੀਤਾ ਜੇ ਨਾਲ ਵਾਲਾ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਪਾਠ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਚਲੋ ਵੀ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰੋ we're not going to say ਨਹੀਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ that would be a beshram. Most of us have enough sharam, enough shame. If the person sitting next to us starts saying, oh, it's Rehraas Sahib time, let's do part, we cover our head and say, go on, you start. Because we know we haven't got it covered, but tusi kar lo, and now we might try and read along, listen to some of the bit, read with it. A little bit of sharam comes inside us. We don't say, apani padna, music on kar do. No. We think, yeah, we should do. And this is the benefit of people that are trying to follow Sikhi. The benefit of those that are trying to remember him is that many people alongside end up doing a bit of part as well. They're sitting there saying, Vaheguru. You know, like when you're driving, yeah? Sometimes you're driving and it's a bit scary. Like I was in India, we went with this one driver. He was crazy with a capital C. And when he was driving, we were all doing Simran. But you know what? If in that car, the people at the front and the back weren't saying Vaheguru, maybe he wouldn't be saying Vaheguru as well. Maybe, you know, when some people drive and they're saying Vaheguru, Vaheguru, because they're scared, other people might be swearing and screaming because their mahal is different. Because somebody in that car doesn't say Vaheguru. Now, Satsang ji also, the benefit of having one Gurumukh, just the benefit of one Gurumukh, you could have 5 people in a car that could be swearing because of what happens. But if one person is saying Waheguru, 99% of the time, the rest of them will start saying Waheguru as well. When he says Waheguru, it doesn't sound nice to then swear at the same time. Everybody else says, oh, don't swear. Let's say Waheguru. And that is the benefit of having one person in your family, one person in your life who is your Gursikh friend. Whether your friends are all like everybody else in this world, they're drowning in this world, who are the ones that are drowning that forget him? Make sure you got one Gursikh friend. In your school, in your college, in your workplace, in your Gurdwara, in your family, make sure there's one person that is your Gursikh friend. And then hang out with that person. Try and get that person's sangat at least once a week for a little while, because in that time it will rub off on you. It's very subtle. That kirpa of hanging out with one Gursikh is so much. I remember sometimes in your life, it could be the most life-changing thing for you, but for that Gursikh, it was just a normal thing. I met this Singh today from Germany. He kept this case, Punjabi, and he's from Germany, and he's talking to me, and he's like, we watch your videos. I kept my case. He goes, I was in Amritsar recently, and I was struggling to keep my case, and this Gurmukh met me, and he goes, Hun to baad na case nahi katne, Katha nahi karne case. And he is stuck in his head, because just a normal Gursikh just said to him, don't cut your hair. And after that he thought, oh. He went back, he did fall once, he fell once, but he kept it again, because that bachan from that one Gursikh kept him going. Now, is that matlab eh nahi ki tu jaake sabnu bachan kari jao ki bhai case rakh lo. Don't just go out telling everybody, keep your case, keep your case, keep your case. No. The things that come out of our heart, because they're true, they make a difference. So make sure you got friends, Gursikh friends, that are the ones that remember Waheguru. So Maharaj says that, Pranamata Nanak tin ki sarna jin tu nahi visarya. Let us all be blessed to be hanging out with those people that do not forget Waheguru. Their day doesn't consist of forgetting Waheguru and sometimes remembering him. Their day consists of all the time remembering him. And if we're lucky, we will hang out with these people and our life will be blessed by that way, because they are going to swim across, and with kirpa, we will hold on to them and swim across ourselves. Manne tare tare Gursikh. The Gursikhs that man jande hege, they swim across themselves and they swim other people across. Tare. Tare means to swim. Tare means to swim other people across. Tare tare Gursikh. ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੰਨ ਜਾਣ ਨਾ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਨੂੰ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਸੰਗਤ ਕਰਿਆ ਕਰੋ। ਸੋ ਸਾਸੰਗ ਇੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਸਮਾਪਤੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਇੰਨੀਆਂ ਬੇਨਤੀਆਂ ਪ੍ਰਵਾਨ ਕਰਨੀਆਂ ਕਥਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋਏ, ਜੋ ਵੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਸਾਸੰਗ ਜੀ ਮਾਫ ਗਲਤੀਆਂ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ ਮਾਫ ਕਰ ਦੇਣਾ। ਸੋ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਫॉरगिव अस। ਲੇਖਾ ਕਦੇ ਨਾ ਛੂਟੀਐ, ਖਿਨ ਖਿਨ ਪੂਰਨਹਾਰ, ਬਖਸ਼ਨਹਾਰ ਬਖਸ਼ ਦੇ ਨਾਨਕ ਪਾਰ ਉਤਾਰ, ਦੇਹੋ ਸਜਨ ਸੀਸੜੀਆਂ जो होवै साहिब स्यो मेल। आओ गज गज फतेह आखो जी, वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह।
If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe. Please donate and help spread Guruji's message. Link is in the description below. Vaheguru ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru ji ki Fateh.